Do you realize what's going on in your organization when you're not around? Do you know that it's ultimately your responsibility for the results of this environment? What are you going to do about it?
Nobody wants to tell anybody that they're doing something bad, they're ugly, they don't want to hurt your feelings. I get it. I don't want to hurt your feelings, but guess what? I'm going to hurt your feelings today because I need you to be the leader that you know you can be, that your people are desiring to have, so they'll stick with you. You don't want that ugly environment. You don't want that toxic relationship. You want a real relationship that you always say, I have a family here. And that begins with these steps. I'm Eric, Leadership Developed. Today we're going to talk about why nobody likes your leadership. I truly believe in the saying that you can't please everyone. I can't get everyone to like me. I get that. But as a leader, as the person in charge of a team, of an organization, when you can't please anybody or can't get anybody to like you, you have a problem. It is a dilemma that I've seen quite a few times. And the reason is you're more centered around your managerial skills than you are about your leadership skills. Remember, your management skills and your leadership skills have to work complementary and make you successful. But hey, don't worry, it's not the end of the world. We're going to help you get this fixed. So let's get right into it and let's give you these answers. The first thing is you have to acknowledge it and accept that you have a problem. And the problem is with you. Don't blame about external factors. Don't blame other people. Look at yourself. Take control of what you can control, and that is mainly you. Have that hard sit down. Have that hard reflection. Trust me, I had to do those many times, and that's where my successes came from, was sitting down and truly understanding what can I control about me. While you're going through this, you have to really look at what is your ego. How is your ego involved? Yes, your ego hurts. It hurts a lot. But the thing is though, your leadership is destroyed by your ego. Your ability to lead others has been impacted because you're more focused about how you appear than how the success of your people can be. Your job as a leader, your job as the person in charge is to not only gain results, but create the environment for your team, your organization to be at their best, to be able to have a culture of excellence. But only you have the power to control how that environment works. Consider what your confirmation bias is. Confirmation bias is the way you do research, is the way you seek answers. As soon as you find what you're looking for that suits your presumptions, your assumptions, then you run with it. But you didn't take the whole time to fully evaluate the situation into figuring out what truly is the problem. You just assumed that you were right because you found answers that reflected what you were looking for, instead of seeking out the whole truth. But if you want to change the situation, you have to change yourself first. And having this time with yourself is very important. Close the door, don't take the phone calls, don't take the meetings, stop death scrolling your phone. Take the time with yourself. Do it on a walk. Remember, we talked in resiliency how walking and help can come to balance. Number 2, seek feedback. Brene Brown does a great job of calling this having a rough and tumble conversation. That means bring the team, especially if you're an organization, your leadership team, into the conference room, close the doors, no phones, no recording equipment. Create a culture of trust. Create the environment of trust in that little room. Come out, explain what this is all about. You're noticing that things are not going, or the environment is not going as you hope they have, and you are blaming yourself. You want to do better, and you are seeking their point of view of what needs to be improved upon. Now, most great leadership teams, if they're worth their weight in gold, will be the first to say, it's my fault too. And they all start taking blame on themselves. Fine, let that happen. It's a process. Let that happen. They all do it. Great leadership teams always will look at themselves and say, I did it wrong. But the purpose of this is also to help you have that conversation, have that rough and tumble conversation where they can just pull it out and give you specific examples of where you came off really hard, really edgy, and really just turned everyone off. These feedback conversations are important. You have to respond with thank you. Because I'm going to tell you right now, feedback is a gift. Step number 3, you know what to do. You sat down and you go, I'm going to change this, we're going to make this happen. But here's the secret formula. Don't do it all at once. Because 1, it will fail. 2, it will shock the team or the organization. And 3, nobody's going to believe it. And by implementing these week at a time, small pieces, the transformation flows, goes. People don't go into shock. People don't think that it's BS. They truly believe that things are getting better. And here's the thing that goes with it. You have to remember to keep doing this, because a habit does not form unless it takes 65 to 90 days of consistent practice. And it's not easy at first, but it's not about you when you're the leader. It's about them. All right, 4th step, rebuild the trust, rebuild the respect. Let's talk about trust first. Trust is the basis of all relationships. If you don't have trust, you don't have a relationship. Trust is a hard thing to come by, and you have to rebuild it. How do you rebuild it? You rebuild it by giving your people a little bit of autonomy. You give them a chance to be the leader. Situational leadership is very important. We call it tactical lead in aviation. Just because I'm the assigned flight leader doesn't mean I have the best situational awareness, and that the person with the best situational awareness becomes the tactical lead. And then I let them go, hey, you have the lead, show us how it's done. Give them autonomy, give them a chance to do that, give them a chance to lead something. When they have an idea, don't do the standard, great, you're in charge, because it's easier that way. Ask them, what resources do you need to be successful if I had you run with this? It's a very powerful question versus great idea, you're in charge. Because then they have to figure out the resources. Show them that you're part of the contribution by going, I want you to lead this. I have control of resources that can help you out. How do I help? Very powerful. And that also builds that respect. I was always taught by my dad that respect is earned, not given. I had to earn it. I didn't just demand respect. I earned respect, because it's not fair to ask anybody to do something that you're not willing to do. Here's some tips to help you along this journey of reclaiming the leader that you need to be, that you want to be. Be transparent and honest. Be consistent and reliable. Be respectful and courteous. Be supportive and helpful. Remember, there's no such thing as a born leader. There's only people that are developed into leaders, and that is what we're doing for you. We're developing you to be that leader. I'm Eric with Leadership Developed. If you like this video, hey, do us a favor, give us a thumbs up or hit the like button. Help us share our message with other growing leaders. If you missed last week's video, hey, check it out. It's right over here. We'll talk to you again next week.